Hi, and welcome to video number 5. In this video, we're going to talk about saving time and speeding up tasks. Now, if you're like me, you spend a lot of time on the internet, you're running an online business, and you end up spending too much time on something that really should take less time. For example, let's say you're doing sales copy, you're writing a sales letter. Writing a sales letter, it used to take me a couple weeks to do. Now, it takes me less than a couple hours or less. Product creation. It used to take me about a whole 2 months to create a product, software product, video product, or so forth. I was able to get it down to about a couple weeks. Now, I can create a product within about a week. Now, using the same knowledge that I'm about to teach you, you can speed the process up so that you can spend more time on either creating more products, running your business, and so forth. Now, I want to ask you a couple questions to get your brain moving. First, when you're doing a project, you need to ask yourself, do you really need the internet? Well, if you're creating a video and you do need the internet, for example, right now, then I need the internet. But you need a way to kind of put pressure on yourself. Because if you don't put pressure on yourself, then you're not going to be able to speed things up. Fortunately, pressure and stress are good things if it is good stress. If it's bad stress, then of course, you want to get rid of it. But you want to focus on giving yourself good pressure and good stress so that you can get things done. Otherwise, you will never get things done. Now, ask yourself, do you really need the internet? If you don't need the internet, I'd advise you to go to another room and do whatever you're trying to do. For example, sales copywriting. Whenever I write sales copy, I generally go to an area of my house, turn off my Wi-Fi, and don't use the internet. Or I go to a place that on my computer and I use, let's say, a software that disconnects me from the internet and disconnects me for about an hour. If you use these good pressures to your advantage, then you'll be able to speed up the time that takes to do a project. Another question I want to ask you is, do you have a laptop? If you say yes, then you'll want to pay close attention. This specific tactic that I use works wonders. If you have a laptop, then I would recommend that you take your laptop when you're ready to, let's say, write sales copy, brainstorm, write an article, write a press release, or do some planning and so forth. I recommend that you take that laptop, and if you don't need the internet, disconnect the internet. If you need the internet, it's fine, you can use wireless. But if you have a laptop, take the laptop, go to an enclosed area where there's no TV around, there's nothing around. Don't even go outside because that is distracting in itself as well. Go somewhere like, let's say, for example, the library, and use your laptop and use the battery and put your wires in your backpack or so forth, or even put it in your car or in an area that requires you to walk all the way to your car to get your wires. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, if you have a laptop and you use the battery, you can use your battery as a timer. So for me, my battery runs out in about an hour and a half. For you, it could be different. If your battery, let's say, is an hour long, then you only have an hour long. And if you're in an enclosed area, then you feel in your mind that you have nothing better to do than to work on whatever you're trying to work on. So what you're doing is you're creating pressure, and you're creating pressure for yourself, which is good. Good pressure and good stress. Use the battery, but you want to make sure that you save things, while you're working, save it constantly, because you never know when that battery is about to run out. And the fact in your head is that in your mind, you know that the battery is going to run out. So you try to finish things as fast as possible. Now, in addition to what I have told you so far, there is one business tool that I use. It's a free business tool. It's called eCounter. Now, what I want you to do is go to Google right here, type in e-counter, and you'll find this here. It's a free software download. And if you click this link, you'll get to this site and you can download eCounter. Now, you can go ahead and download it, install it, and so forth. And this is what it looks like. eCounter, it's a free tool, but it looks pretty basic, but it works wonders. If you did everything I showed you earlier with, following, adding pressure, using a laptop with only the battery, disconnecting the internet if you don't need it, then eCounter is great. eCounter basically allows you to add another level of pressure or good stress to your project. It's good to know, and it's good to give yourself an amount of time. Let's say, okay, sales letter writing may take me about an hour, but I want to give myself an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes max. So what you're doing here is, if you keep doing this process, this will enable you to figure out how long does it really take you to create a sales letter, to write an article, and so forth. Because if you don't know how long it takes you to create, an article, press release, and so forth, then you're not going to be able to speed that over time. Because our goal here is for you to speed it up. If you don't know how long it takes, you're never going to know how to improve, right? So I'm going to give myself an hour and 15 minutes. What you can do is, if you click on this options menu here, and I'm going to go here so that you can see things better. We're looking at this program here. You can set the time right here, and you can tell eCounter to do a specific thing. When the time runs out, then you can have a visual effect, you can hang up the internet connection, you can display an image, you can hibernate your PC, shut down your computer, lock your workstation, and so forth. So the things that I like to use the visual effects, or I like to shut down my computer. Now, you might be thinking, oh, you might lose the information that you might have on your computer, but that's why I say you want to save your stuff consistently. So I like to hibernate my PC or shut down my computer, because it's sort of like the battery idea, but you're given an hour and 15 minutes, and if you hibernate your PC, then it pretty much shuts down, and you're forced to speed the process up. So I found this stuff really, really helps. And let's say I'll do visual effect, and I click on start. What this will do is as you can see, the timer is running. But if I click to switch to compact mode, it'll switch to a smaller view, as you can see here. Now, you want to make sure this is selected. If you see this white little ring around, you want to make sure the white ring is around this little pin, because that means it's always on top. So whatever you do, you're searching on the internet or so forth, you're always going to see this on top. Now, I like to put it at the top right or the top left, whatever suits you. But the top right, I like to put it there so that I can be doing things as fast as I can. It's sort of like a game, and then I can see how much I have left. Now, it's easy to press this pause button, but I'd recommend that you not do that, just because you can speed things up. But as you can see, this one little method, using the stuff that I've told you, using a laptop, disconnecting the internet, put yourself in an enclosed area that has no TV, nothing fun, no beds whatsoever. Don't even go outside. You can even go in a closet and put a chair and a light, and that'll work just as well. But I found out this stuff that I just told you, while it's simple and easy to implement and it's free, all the stuff I've told you has enabled me to basically instead of taking a month, allowed me to create what I was trying to create and complete within a week or a couple of hours.